Testing, testing, one, 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 two. Testing, one, two. Testing, one, two. I am in the late night hours. We are in the late night hours. I am in here. I'm in here. It is 30 minutes until 2 o'clock. I want to thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you get a chance to check this video out. Wait a minute. Let me put the other channel in here. Hold on for 1 second. Yes, yes. I'm putting the other link. Well, my other channel, I had to get the link properly up in the chat. I want to make sure you guys over there on the other channel add the link. I'm gonna put the link on this channel over here. Hey, that's the link right there. Anybody up out there, anybody up, hey, hit that link. You are welcome to jump in this chat room right here. Hey, like I stated, this platform was built for the community. You see, I got the community TV up there. I welcome all to get up here or to come up here or speak anywhere that you can, and speak about your story, speak about your life, speak about the challenges you had to overcome, speak about the lessons, speak about the growth. I strongly encourage people to take your story, to take your thoughts, to take your concerns. I strongly encourage people now I'm a firm believer in be truthful, right? Be truthful about the story that you tell. Be truthful about not only the story you tell, but the story that you believe about the story you tell. Be truthful about it, because when you find that truth, you will really, really understand that you too still have growing to do. You too, in that story, still have healing to do. I guarantee tell you that most people, not all, most people do not deeply concern themselves with themselves. They concern themselves with other people's faults and other people's mistakes, but they will not look deeply inside of themselves just to see, okay, just to see what better, what better way that they, what better way that you, what better way that they can look at certain things and become better with, um, come better with just within themselves. Okay, that's why I really wanted to do this video tonight. You remember I told you guys I was coming on here to speak about and to do actually a video on a couple of things, a couple of older people that hold on, hold on. Okay, a couple of grown people um, that found it hard to really understand themselves in this thing called life. Because if you don't truly do inventory on yourself and constantly get to know uh, who you are and what you are, and every now and then you have to take inventory of yourself because we be um, we be distracted by a lot of things in life, and we be busy in a lot of things in life. So it's real easy to lose yourself, right? And these videos that I'm finna play today, tonight, this is a prime example of older people losing themselves in this thing called life. Now, this video that I'm finna play is um, not to talk down on these people. It's really just to learn. Okay, it's really for people to learn and to see how uh, certain things can happen to anybody. When I look at this thing called life now, since I done got this age, the older I get, right, I realize that things that happen to other people can just as well easily happen to you. Okay. If you don't closely pay attention to a lot of these things and a lot of these details, and especially a lot of these distractions in life, if you don't pay attention to this, if you don't pay attention to, if you don't, if you don't guard your time wisely, if you don't pay attention to the people that have your ear, it's real easy to get sidetracked. It's real easy to fall into distractions. It's real easy. So these stories can happen to anybody. Um, as I started doing my personal development, this is one thing that I really found out that these things that people go through in life, it can happen to anybody. No one on this earth is excluded for things happening or bad things happening or challenging things happen. No one is excluded from this. So that's why it's important to really focus and be intentionally focused on what you're doing, who you're doing it with, especially now. I think a lot of older people is getting blinded by some of our old trusting beliefs. Okay. Now is things is different. It's not like it used to be. So, uh, it's just like, driving these cars right here. You going around so fast. You might don't know that next turn come, right? But when you get to that next turn, you got to play the game. How it's being driven, and I think that's how a lot of us is really coping right now with this thing called life. And I think that's a reason why we get into this we get into this circle, and we get into this thing that we don't know of. And sometimes though, you may like it or may get stuck in it, right? Like I told you, like my mom said, right? Don't go into them different lanes because you might like it, right? So, hey, I stick to my mom's words, right? She wrote a blueprint. If you guys out there, if y'all have wise people in your life and that's no longer here, I suggest strongly that you think deeply of people that you had in your life that was wise. And I think you should go back and rethink them thoughts, because what we are building out here, what we are seeing out here today, cars and people and things is all over the place. It's no telling what you will get if you out here in this traffic, okay? That's why you don't play in traffic. You understand me? Now listen, we finna get to these videos, and like I say, I'm not talking bad about none of these people that's in this video. That's in this video. It's just really for learning purposes and just to show people how things can happen to anybody. Okay. Um, hey, these videos is for educational purpose. Okay. Only. Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, okay. Um, and like I said, we're gonna put this movie in. I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna play this clip, and I will stop it from time to time and just give my assessment to it. It's a sad story, but it is showing the people out here that uh, we have to take this life a little bit more serious, especially the older we get in this world is not doing so well with uh, with the character of people, uh, with the standards in people. This world is not doing too well. So uh, I said we have to go back, go back to for the older people. I said we need to go back into our childhood and remember the certain things that was really good, certain ways that was really good in our family history, and try to make that happen uh, everywhere you go in life. Try to spread that type of energy everywhere you go in life, because the more good that's out here, um, you know, it will rub off on people, no matter no matter what other people is into. If you constantly be the only person that's trying to really, if you be the person that's trying to do good and be great in life, um, it have no other it have no other way, it have no other choice but to rub off on uh, the person that you maybe have to be around. One way or another, we have to speak good out here and do good for for the people that find it challenging doing good in their life. Um, you doing good in front of that person could probably help them in a way. You just never know when it comes to this stuff. So that's why I always say just be positive to people and show them positivity, and maybe that may rub off on them. You know. So we finna watch this. Give me 1 second. Let me get this. trying to pull this up. Pull up. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, give me 1 second, you guys. I'm trying to get this going right. I got all of that. 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 Okay, so we got all of them. So that's not be over there. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to press this thing right there. I don't know. I don't know why it won't go up there, but we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, now once again, this is just for educational purposes. Okay, now y'all know the boxer. Hold on, y'all know the boxer. Back in the what 90s with Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. Okay, I know some people have heard this story, but when I heard it, it just broke my heart, you guys. But let's take a look at this, and this is just stories of how we as older people need to get certain things in order in your life, whether you're in a bad situation or a good situation. Um, Stuff like this can happen to anybody, whether you're on the receiving end or you're on the giving end. Either way, it's not a good thing as a society. Okay, uh, not talking about no shade to none of these people that's involved. We praying for their family, but I just wanted to go over tonight. Like I told you guys, I wanted to go over certain things in life and to just ask questions and learn from certain things that happens in our lives, circumstances and challenges that happens in our lives. If you don't get a hold on certain things that could be spinning out of control, if you don't get a hold of yourself, sometimes whether you doing good or whether you doing bad in life, if you don't understand that you could If you don't understand, let me help you understand. We could, you could, anybody could. This stuff can happen in anybody. You can spin out of control. Okay? So let's get it. This is the boxer. He boxed with Sugar Ray Leonard and all of those famous, I think they was middleweight, but they could have been lightweight. Either way, they was like heavyweights. You understand me? Early, no, the late 80s, 90s. Yeah, yeah. This is good. So let's check this out. Well, no, this is bad, but let's check this out. Oh,
Now in the middle of a guardianship court battle. Recently, there has been a lot of conflicting information out there about Tommy Hearns.
And 7 investigator Heather Catallo is here to set the record straight after talking to Hearns about what's been happening. Heather.
There's been a lot happening with the family recently. Different sides of his family have claimed Tommy Hearns was being held from them, and Adult Protective Services officials say they've been looking into whether he's been the victim of financial exploitation. Now this week, the boxing legend and some of his children sat down with me to set the record straight about his health and all the controversy.
I want the world to know that I'm doing fine. I feel good.
Thomas the Hitman Hearns wants the community to know he's safe.
Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
In recent weeks, some family members have claimed the champion boxer was being kept from them amid accusations of financial exploitation and even allegations by Adult Protective Services that some relatives had kidnapped the Hall of Famer.
I just want things to just be calm and good and just move smoothly.
Mr. Hearns is revered in this community for all he's done, for all he's given back to the community, to the city of Detroit, to the boxing world.
Attorney Wolf Mueller represents Hearns' oldest son, Ronald.
So my job with the conservator and the court is to make sure that nobody takes advantage of him and he is treated with dignity and respect that he so richly deserves.
Are you concerned that somebody or some people have been taking advantage of him?
I think there is a lot of evidence that he's been taken advantage of recently.
My dad's a great man, has a big heart, and for him to be going through this type of situation this time in his life is terrible.
I am ordering you to tell me where Thomas Hearns is.
Okay.
So, tell me where he is.
And that's why I would like to receive legal counsel to explain the situation.
At an emergency guardianship hearing in February, only our cameras were there as Oakland County Chief Probate Judge Pro Tem Daniel O'Brien took testimony from APS workers who were searching for Hearns after they said his daughter and his sister would not reveal the 67-year-old's location. APS officials also said they were suspicious after a GoFundMe online fundraiser was set up.
Your impression is they were using Mr. Hearns as some kind of commercial advertiser? Correct.
By Wednesday morning, all sides of the family agreed to allow Ronald Hearns to be in charge of his father's care and finances. Citing a dementia diagnosis, Judge O'Brien appointed Ronald Hearns as guardian and conservator of Thomas Hearns.
Everybody loves Mr. Hearns and wants the best for him. And so that's what everybody should be, and not focusing on their past grievances.
So just keep praying for my dad and the family as we move forward in our lives.
It's a good feeling. Good feeling for me.
It's a great feeling, and everybody just wants to make sure you're okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
And that you're good.
And I'm fine.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Hearns' home was lost to tax foreclosure recently. He's now living with his oldest son. Ronald Hearns is asking everyone to stop donating to any online fundraisers. They do not consider those legitimate, and the funds are not being given to their father as of now. So he is safe. He is with his at a family meeting today. They're all going to try to get on the same page, and hopefully he can just keep doing his thing and being a hero here in
Yeah, and
Detroit.
that's good news,
Yeah.
especially at his age. You know, a lot of people
Yes.
have dementia, and to have an older child take
Take
over
care.
and take
Yep.
good care of you is good.
And of course, everybody's suspicious when these conservatorships or its location is unknown.
Exactly. There's I think a lot of miscommunication was
Yeah.
going on as well. So hopefully that is resolved now.
Let's hope. All right, thank you, Heather.
Good
welcome.
deal. Good investigation.
Nah, that's nah, that's the hitman Thomas Hearns, man. You know, that's a sad, sad deal. But like I said, stuff like this can happen to us all. Uh, something I learned. If something I learned in this 53 years of being here on this 53 blessed years being on this side of the universe. Uh, things that happen in life, if it's one thing happen in life, wait a minute, I'm trying to get
This credit trick was banned from the American.
if it's one thing that I really know, anything is possible. Okay, in this thing called life, anything is possible. We have to be ready at all the times. You have to be strong, and that's why I titled this. You have to build. You have to build yourself. You have to build your character. You have to build your strength. You have to build yourself to be ready for all the twists and turns that comes with this thing called life. Now this man right here, now this man right here, 50 some years old. Okay. I think I'm older than him, right? Or he might be just a little bit older than me. Now he been working for the mail department for over 20 some years. And what happened? What was he building in these 20 some years that he had been blessed with this good job? You know, back in the day, you figure 20 some years ago, he was making good money. Then, you know, money was what 10,000 was pretty good money. You know, 20,000 was pretty good money back 20 years ago. You know, hey, I take 20, 10 and 20 right now, right? But back then it was a lot though. Okay. And what happened to this man, it can happen to anybody, right? Now, I'm going to say this, you know, certain people find, some people have urges, and it can happen. You know what I'm saying? This stuff can happen in anybody. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you had, if you was raised though, like my mama, like I always say, uh, hey, my mother, this was one of her really, really pet peeves, right? This was really her lesson. Okay. Uh, she didn't like two things. She didn't like a liar. Yes, yes. That's why I stand on the truth, okay? That's why I stand on the truth, right? You couldn't tell your mama no stories. You said what I'm saying? Without uh getting that beat down, you know what I'm saying? Back in the 80s. Y'all know what I'm talking about out there, okay? But Mom Dukes, she didn't like a liar and she didn't like a thief. You see what I'm saying? A liar and a thief. There was two things, her pet peeves, her pet rules and lessons that she grew me up on, right? But that doesn't mean that I was perfect by a long shot. No, okay. But like I say, to be working in a position like this man was working in, temptation, excuse me, temptation, um, family struggles, family dynamics. As you're going to see when we get at the end of this video, now he's been married this whole time. And when he got caught, you already know what happened to the marriage, right? But something that when I saw the whole video, right? But that was kind of funny to me, right? Not funny. It's actually was sad because this whole time she was on these vacations with him, right? She had on all nice clothes and furs and stuff, right? Now, although she hold it down as well, like most women do. Most women do hold it down, okay? I will say that, okay? But that's not, women shouldn't let that be the main, the main topic, the main point that they really care about. The greed of all of this, okay? Because sometimes in life, I don't know this man's story, right? I don't know his story, but sometimes in life, it can be the pressure of the family. It can be the pressure of the woman. It can be the pressure of society. And also, you can't look at all of these things and not look at itself. You see what I'm saying? So let's check out this story, though.
That's what he kept repeating as they put him in handcuffs. 23 years delivering mail on the same route. He knew every family by name, waved at their children, and accepted their holiday tips. I just took pictures. 3,412 of them, every personal check that passed through his hands for 6 years. Photographed, cataloged, and sold to a fraud ring operating out of a storage facility 40 miles away. He stole almost $2 million, 719 victims across a single zip code, exposed bank accounts, destroyed credit scores, IRAs drained, and families who lost their homes to foreclosure because the mortgage payments they mailed every month arrived. The Postal Inspection Service would later describe this as one of the most systematic mail theft operations in Ohio history. Before we go further, have you mailed a check in the last year? Have you ever had a payment go missing?
Hey, I had to stop that because Ohio, right? I have heard a lot about Ohio throughout the years, okay? Hey, I'm not gonna even, tell no story. Like, ever since I was probably like about 16 years old, my auntie and my family used to take trips over there to Ohio. Now I'm from Michigan. That's my hometown. Okay. So we used to do trips, like going to the malls up there, and also the Cool Jazz Festival. Everybody know about the Cool Jazz Festival, right? But I have been blessed enough to been going to the Cool Jazz Festival ever since I was 16 years old. Okay. Um, but when he said Ohio, right, it just was funny to me because uh, I've been I've been hearing about Ohio for quite a long time, right? And my business partner, right, my young brother, he's from Ohio, so he has his stories, right? So apparently, this male guy is from Ohio. So let's just listen to this.
Been told it must have gotten lost in the system? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel. We cover similar cases like this every week. Born on March 3rd, 1972, Terrence Holloway lived in a two-bedroom apartment above a hardware store in Trotwood, Ohio, as the oldest of three.
72. So me and him the same age. Wow. Okay, like I said, we're not talking about these people. We are just basically learning. This is educational purpose, okay?
He shared a room with his brother until he turned 16. Worked at a Kroger bagging groceries from the age of 15, $4.25 an hour. Gave half to his mother for rent. He graduated from Trotwood Madison High School in 1990. His grades were average. His attendance was perfect. His senior yearbook quote read, "Work hard, stay steady, good things come." The good thing.
The truth is, car insurance companies have the perfect hustle, and it hits you every single time you pay your bill.
'94. A cousin who worked at the Dayton, Maine post office told him they were hiring. Terrence applied on a Thursday, took the civil service exam 3 weeks later, passed on his first try with a score of 87. Started as a part-time flexible carrier at the Kettering branch on September 6th, 1994. Starting pay, $11.40 an hour. Benefits after 90 days. Pension after 20 years.
Now this sound like, now we was born in the same year, 72. Okay. He said graduated, and he got this job at 94. Now this story seems sort of similar, okay, to my story, the story that I have. Me and three guys, we walked in this big factory about, it probably about 93, 94. Okay. It was a factory that made a lot of money back in Michigan, right in my hometown. And three of the guys walked in there. We was off the streets. Now, one guy, he worked and still, I believe, working there. This guy been working there for about 30 some years, right? Okay. The other guy, he ended up going to prison and doing 15 years. Okay. He's out now, by the way. Shout out to that guy. And then there's me. Okay. And then, like I tell you guys, my life been all over the place, right? You know what I'm saying? But this story is something similar to mine because the age and the graduation, and then him getting his good first paying job at probably like 21, 22 years old. This was me, okay? But anyway, let's get back to this man's story. I thought this was funny.
It was more money than his father had made at the plant. More security than anyone in his family had ever known. His supervisors noticed him early. The evaluations from those first years still existed in his personnel file when investigators pulled it decades later. punctual and dependable, demonstrates strong route memorization, interacts positively with residents, low maintenance, works independently without issues. In 1999, Terrence Holloway was converted to full career status. In 2004, he was assigned to Route 119, a loop through the Southdale and Lincoln Park subdivisions in Kettering. 462 delivery points, 11.8 miles, 312 households where families had lived for generations. The houses on Route 119 weren't mansions, but they weren't apartments above hardware stores either. These were 3-bedroom ranches with attached garages, split levels with finished basements, brick colonials with American flags by the door. The people who lived there were teachers, middle managers, small business owners, retirees who had worked 40 years and earned the right to sit on their porches. They wrote checks for everything: mortgage payments, car notes, insurance premiums, quarterly taxes, donations to their churches, birthday money for grandchildren in other states. Every month, thousands of dollars in paper passed through Terrence Holloway's hands. For 19 years, he delivered it without incident. Then something changed. The United States Postal Service processes 425 million pieces of mail every single day. Letters, packages, postcards, legal documents, tax returns, checks written in ballpoint pen, sealed in paper envelopes, dropped in curbside boxes with little red flags raised. For suburban routes like Route 119, the letter carrier is the entire system. There is no security checkpoint, no signature log, no photograph documenting which pieces of mail were collected from which address. A homeowner raises the red flag. The carrier stops. The envelope goes into the satchel. The flag goes down. What happens next is a matter of trust. Carriers are required to transport collected mail directly to the processing center at the end of their shift. From there, outgoing mail is sorted, postmarked, and sent on its way. The process is designed for speed and efficiency. It is not designed for verification. If a letter vanishes between the mailbox and the processing center, no alarm sounds. No flag is raised. The sender assumes it was delivered. The intended recipient assumes it was never sent. The Postal Service has no record it ever existed.
Boy, they tell by detail how this all works.
The only protection is the carrier's integrity. Federal law takes that integrity seriously. Under 18 U.S.C. Section 1708, mail theft by a postal employee is a federal crime carrying up to 5 years in prison per offense. Postal inspectors conduct random vehicle checks. Supervisors perform quarterly route audits. Undercover integrity tests are deployed at stations with elevated complaint rates. At the Kettering branch, the audits were documented. The vehicle inspections were logged. The integrity...
Check this out. Completely wireless. Let me show you something real quick. This is my dash cam, not a single cable in sight. I can take it right out of the car and it still works. Why? Because it's one...
Tests were conducted according to schedule. None of them caught Terrence Holloway. In 23 years at the same station, he was subjected to 4 vehicle inspections. Each one lasted under 15 minutes. Each one resulted in a notation that his vehicle was clean and organized. No mail was ever examined. No question.
So out of 20, they only checked this van 4 times. It's pretty good.
Questions were ever asked. It started in August 2017. Terrence Holloway was sorting outgoing mail in the cargo area of his LLV, the boxy white delivery truck that is the workhorse of suburban routes. He was parked on Willowbrook Drive, 3/4 through his loop. The air conditioning in the truck had been broken for 2 weeks. Maintenance kept saying they'd get to it. He was sweating through his uniform when he noticed the envelope. Hand addressed, purple ink, a birthday card, obviously. Addressed to a woman in Arizona from a house on Willowbrook he'd been delivering to for 13 years. The Hendersons, retired schoolteacher and her husband. They sent birthday cards every month, anniversary cards, sympathy cards, always with checks inside. Terrence held the envelope up to the light. He could see the outline of the check. He could see the amount written in the memo line, $300. He didn't steal it that day, but he photographed it, front and back, the routing number, the account number, the signature. The connection was a man named Jamal Hicks. Hicks ran a check alteration operation out of a storage unit in Middletown, 40 minutes north on I-75. The setup was simple. Checks were photographed. The images were sent via encrypted messaging app. Hicks's people used the routing and account information to create counterfeit checks, or they chemically washed the originals.
Check them out now. Now look at the couple. Check them out.
And rewrote them to different payees. The funds were deposited into a rotating network of accounts opened with stolen identities. Terrence was paid $50 per check, cash, handed to him in the parking lot of a Meijer on Wilmington Pike every Tuesday evening. No records, no deposits, nothing traceable. At $50 per check, the math was simple. 15 checks a week was $750, tax-free. 30 checks was $1,500. By the spring of 2018, Terrence Holloway was photographing an average of 41 checks per week. He had developed a routine. He would collect outgoing mail normally throughout his route. Then he would park in a cul-de-sac on Stockton Avenue, a dead-end street with no houses facing the road. He would sort through the stack. Anything with the weight and feel of a check got opened, photographed with a tablet he kept wedged between the seats, resealed with a glue stick, placed back in the stack and delivered to the processing center as though nothing had happened. The victims received their mail intact, a birthday card, a thank you note. What they didn't receive was the check that had been inside. The complaints started arriving in early 2018. A retired nurse on Ackerman Boulevard called her insurance company about a cancellation notice. She'd sent the quarterly premium 3 weeks earlier. The check had never arrived. A widower on Glenbeck Drive received a delinquency notice from his mortgage servicer. The payment had been mailed on time. It had never posted. In each case, the post office response was the same. Mail delays occur. Please contact your bank.
Now you got, these are people that he had been delivering mail to for over 20 some years. So he knew, you form a relationship with these people. You know what I'm saying? You get to know these people. Check this out though.
Please issue a replacement check. Please accept our apologies for the inconvenience. No investigation was opened. No one realized that every complaint came from the same root. Warren and Mildred Townsend purchased their home on Rushmore Drive in 1987. He was a supervisor at a tool and die shop in West Carrollton. She was a nurse at Kettering Medical Center. They raised 2 children in that house, paid the mortgage on the first of every month by check, mailed from the curbside box. For 34 years, the system worked. Warren retired in 2019. Mildred retired the year after. They had a plan: pay off the house by 2024, travel, spend winters in Florida with their daughter. They were 11 months from owning their home free and clear.
Now listen to all of that they got, okay? You see the graduation, that's his daughter graduation, the mama crying, daddy just a smiling, right? My baby girl that made it, okay? Man, it's a shame sometimes how this life can get us trapped up in certain things if we not careful. And also the pressure of the world, the greed of the world, it hurts us all.
The certified letter arrived in April of 2023. Mildred was standing in the kitchen when she opened it. Her hands were trembling before she finished the first paragraph.
We are gardeners. We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
This $10 pen fixed what $1,000 worth of creams couldn't, because this yellow crust is why your nail function.
$19,612 in arrears. Payments missing for 7 months. Foreclosure proceedings would begin in 60 days. Warren called the mortgage servicer that evening. He had the carbon copies from their checkbook. He had the bank statements. The representative put him on hold for 18 minutes. When she came back, her tone had changed. The payments had cleared, she confirmed, but not to the mortgage company. The checks had been intercepted. The payee names altered. The funds deposited to accounts the Townsends had never heard of. 7 months of payments, $18,200, gone. Their son, Keith, was a network security analyst for a healthcare system in Columbus. When his parents called him that night, his mother crying, his father silent with rage, he drove to Kettering the next morning. He spent the following 8 weeks investigating. Keith started with his parents' mail, built a spreadsheet, contacted neighbors' neighbors, posted on the Kettering Community Facebook group asking if anyone else had experienced missing payments. The responses overwhelmed him. Dozens of families, the same pattern. Lost checks, mysterious late fees, insurance cancellations, credit damage that appeared from nowhere. One elderly man had been denied a car loan because of delinquencies he didn't know existed. A young couple had nearly lost their health coverage when premium payments vanished.
Look, all it took was one person to do some investigation and spread it on Facebook, and everybody came out like they was missing checks. All because of this man right here. Him and his wife, right? He done it though. You know, he done it for himself and the family, okay? No excuse, because he literally messed up a whole bunch of people's lives just to put the smiles on both of their faces. Look at them, okay? Let's check them out.
Every single one lived on Route 119. On June 14, 2023, Keith Townsend filed a formal complaint with the United States Postal Inspection Service. He attached 43 pages of documentation, victim statements, financial records, a map with every affected address highlighted in red. Every address was on Terrence Holloway's route. The complaint arrived at the Cincinnati field office of the Postal Inspection Service on June 16, 2023. It was assigned to Inspector Lydia Okonkwo, a 12-year veteran who specialized in internal theft cases. Within 72 hours, she had identified Terrence Holloway as the carrier for Route 119 since 2004. She pulled his personnel file. 23 years of service. No disciplinary actions. Evaluations that described him as steady and low maintenance. Within 2 weeks, she had subpoenaed his financial records. Terrence Holloway earned $54,380 in 2022. His wife, Carolyn, earned $29,000 as a part-time bookkeeper. Combined household income, $83,000. In the same year, the Holloway family deposited $118,000 in cash and money orders across.
There you go, right there. Look at that. That's a whole 30-some thousand dollars extra. There you go, right there. And look at them. They just are smiling. You know, we have to learn greed runs the world. You know, either you work for it and you still don't understand what you're working for. A lot of it be chasing greed. Okay?
3 different credit unions. They paid off their minivan. They paid cash for a hot tub installation. They took 2 vacations to Biloxi, Mississippi. They helped their daughter with a down payment on a condo. On July 8, 2023, Inspector Okonkwo arranged covert surveillance of Holloway's route. An unmarked vehicle with tinted windows followed him from the Kettering station. At 1:23 p.m., Holloway parked his LLV on Stockton Avenue, the dead-end street with no facing houses. The vehicle's cameras captured him opening envelopes, photographing contents with a tablet device, resealing and restacking. On July 19, 2023, federal agents executed a search warrant at the Holloway residence on Smithville Road in Trotwood. In the garage, on a shelf behind a case of motor oil, they found a Samsung tablet. The tablet was synced to a cloud storage account. The account contained a folder labeled Route. Inside were 3,412 photographs of personal checks. The metadata spanned October 2017 to July 2023. 6 years of systematic theft.
Wait a minute, he said 3,000 checks over a span of 6 years? Wow. Wow. Man. Look at them though. They just are smiling. Wow. Hold it. Let me see here.
Documented in high resolution, routing numbers, account numbers, signatures, memo lines that read, "Happy birthday," and property taxes Q3, and mom's assisted living, July. The tablet also contained a messaging app with encrypted conversations. The other party was later identified as Jamal Hicks. Holloway, February 11, 2022. 14 today, one was almost 5,000. Estate settlement. Hicks. Beautiful. Tuesday, same place? Holloway. Always. Holloway. May 3rd, 2022. Lady on Ackerman keeps sending insurance checks. 4th one this year. Hicks. She insured for everything, LOL. Holloway. September 17th, 2022. Mortgage check, $4,200. Big house on Rushmore.
If you're tired of filling out your personal info on sites, only for your car insurance quotes to change like this,
That was Warren and Mildred Townsend's address. These stories don't get covered enough. If you want to see accountability for people who violate public trust, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next part of this story is something you need to
Public mail.
On the morning of July 21st, 2023, Terrence Holloway reported for work at 5:45 a.m. He parked in his usual spot, walked through the employee entrance, poured coffee from the break room pot, began sorting the day's mail at his station. It was a Friday. His route was lighter on Fridays. Inspector Okonkwo entered the building at 5:58 a.m. She was accompanied by 2 postal police officers. Terrence was holding a stack of magazines when they approached. He turned slowly. "Terrence Holloway? That's me." He set the magazines down. "Something wrong?" "You're under arrest for mail theft and conspiracy to commit bank fraud. Turn around and place your hands behind your back." He didn't turn. He stood there, motionless. His eyes moved to the other carriers in the staging area. 3 of them were watching. People he'd worked with for 2 decades. "Listen," his voice dropped. "Listen, you don't understand what's happening here. I've been doing this job for 23 years. 23 years, no complaints, no problems. You can ask anyone. We recovered the tablet, Mr. Holloway. We have the photographs." His face changed. The color drained out of it slowly, like water seeping from a sponge. "I never took anything. I never cashed a single check. All I did was take pictures. We know." He looked at the floor. His shoulders dropped. His hands began to tremble. "Do you know what this job pays? Do you know what it costs to live anymore? My daughter's student loans, my wife's medical bills. The house needs a new roof. You don't understand what it's like. Turn around, Mr. Holloway. I just wanted to give my family..."
Hey, he went to saying everything. The dogs need a new dog house, right? My grandmama need a new bed. I mean, my mama need a new bed. He just went to saying every excuse in the book. Man, that's wild, right? I wonder, did he think that through when he knew all these years, for 6 years, he was sneaking into people's mail? I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand this world would trap. This can happen to anybody. This world will trap you up, you guys. You hear me? The world will trap you up, okay? If you not very, very careful. This goes for people that do good, that got high positions. Hey, you already see what's going on in the world today. Yes. So this can happen to anybody. Okay, it's almost finished. And we're going to get out of here, okay?
Only something better. That's all I wanted. Inspector Okonkwo nodded to the officers. Terrence Holloway turned around. The handcuffs clicked into place. His coffee was still sitting on the sorting table, steam rising from the cup. They led him out through the loading dock, past the rows of white trucks, past the American flag hanging by the supervisor's office. His co-workers watched in silence. 23 years at the same station. It ended before sunrise. On August 29, 2023, a federal grand jury in the Southern District of Ohio returned a 51-count indictment against Terrence Wayne Holloway. The charges: 22 counts of mail theft under 18 U.S.C. Section 1708, 14 counts of bank fraud under 18 U.S.C. Section 1344, 9 counts of aggravated identity theft under 18 U.S.C. Section 1028A, 6 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud under 18 U.S.C. Section 1349. Jamal Hicks was arrested in Middletown 2 weeks later. He pleaded guilty and agreed to testify. Terrence Holloway's trial began on November 6, 2023, at the federal courthouse in Dayton. His attorney, Robert
So the person that he was his partner in crime, the ones that was doing his dirty work for him as he was, getting the checks and stuff and doing whatever he got to do with the mail, he would pass it to somebody else. So they just said the other person took a deal and then turned around and told on him. You know what I'm saying? That's how this game go. This is a dirty game out here. That's why when you get my age and his age, right? Man, the only way you should go from here on out when you get this age is righteousness, is basically forgiveness for yourself, right? Forgiveness for others, and turn to the Lord Jesus Christ. It's no more at this age, brother. It's nothing else that you can do but give yourself over to righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I know you know that now, okay? It's just I understand the pressure of life, the temptation of life, family struggles and family on your back. I get it. The wife, the kids, I get it. A lot of structure, temptation. I get it.
Castellano argued that his client had been manipulated by Hicks, that he was a working man struggling with debt, that he had never personally profited from the altered checks, only from the photographs. The prosecution presented testimony from 23 victims. They described late fees that snowballed into collection actions, credit scores that dropped 100 points overnight, insurance policies canceled without warning, retirement accounts frozen while fraud investigations crawled forward. On November 14th, Mildred Townsend took the witness stand. She was 71 years old. She wore the same dress she'd worn to her golden anniversary party 2 years earlier. Her voice was steady until it wasn't. We did everything right, paid our bills on time, saved what we could. We were 11 months away from owning our home, 34 years of payments. And this man who smiled at us every morning, he took photographs of our checks and sold them to criminals. She paused, steadied herself on the witness box.
That'd be bad too when you have a elderly lady, your grandmama age, she's 80 years old, get up on the stand and say that you didn't took all of this money from her. Older people like in the 60s, 70s, or whatever the case may be, she's 80, she need her medicine, health medicine, that's a bad dude right there, but this world is built on greed, like I said, this can happen to anybody. Now, certain people, or can't say everybody, but this could have happened. This could happen to anybody, Let's get to this.
We lost our home in August. The auction happened while we were staying with our daughter. I couldn't watch. Warren watched on his phone. Strangers bidding on the place where we raised our children. She looked at Terrence Holloway. You said you never hurt anyone. We're 71 and 73 years old, and we're living in our daughter's basement because of you. Tell me that's not hurt. The jury deliberated for 5 hours. On November 18th, 2023, they returned guilty verdicts on all 51 counts. Sentencing was held on February 15th, 2024. Judge William Hargrove of the Southern District of Ohio delivered the court's ruling. Mr. Holloway, for 23 years, this community placed its trust in you. Every day, you entered their lives through their mailboxes. You handled their most private communications, their payments to keep their homes, their gifts to their grandchildren, the cards they sent to family members they might never see again. You photographed over 3,000 of those items and sold them to criminals. You enabled a fraud network that drained retirement accounts, destroyed credit histories, and foreclosed on the homes of elderly couples who had done nothing wrong. Of their lives. The Townsends, a couple who paid their mortgage faithfully for 34 years, are living in their daughter's basement because of what you did. That is hurt, Mr. Holloway. That is profound and lasting harm. The sentence: 97 months in federal prison, 8 years and 1 month, $743,000 in restitution, lifetime prohibition from federal employment, immediate forfeiture of his pension. Terrence Holloway was remanded to FCY Elkton, a low-security federal facility in Lisbon, Ohio, 120 miles from the route he drove for 19 years. His wife filed for divorce 4 months later. His daughter has not visited. He will be eligible for release in 2031. He will be 59 years old. Warren and Mildred Townsend never recovered their home. The foreclosure sale closed in August 2023. The house sold for $347,000. The couple who bought it has no idea what happened there. Keith Townsend testified before a House subcommittee on postal security in April 2024. His testimony contributed to the proposed Mail Integrity and Consumer Protection Act, legislation that would require photographic documentation of outgoing mail collection. The bill remains in committee. 719 victims, 6 years, $2 million. One man they
$2 million, 1,700 people that he victimized by frauding a mail. Man, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of years, though. 6 years. Okay. We said $2 million. But what was so at the end, you see them two smiling. Now that tickled me a little bit, because throughout all that time, she kept that smile on her face, right? She enjoyed some of that money. You know what I'm saying? So they gave him 8 years, and then he lost the daughter, he lost the wife, and they profit from the money as well. He did all of that to make them smile too. And at the end of all of this, the man by himself, right? Whew, it's a cold, cold world, right? That's not funny. That's just basically letting a learning lesson, telling people that you could do a lot for yourself. You could do a lot for others. But at the end of all of this, you got to make sure that people are there in your corner the right way. You understand me? For the right reasons. You understand me? That's really the important thing of this thing called life. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. This is enough. I did enough of this today. This was 2 hours, huh? Okay, cool. That is cool. I almost did 2 hours, you guys. Yeah. So, what we could take away from these two stories? What we could take away from these two stories? What we building out here, when we working, when we loving, when we conversating, when we investing time into people, we got to make sure that we building a strong foundation. We got to make sure that we building a strong connection with people so that when we are building with the right energy, when you are building with the right energy, you wouldn't have the distractions of the world intervene and spill over and make you spiral, okay, out of control. Now, although, like I say, it's a choice, but the world is so full of strong distractions out here. It weighs a lot. Even if you is the strong person, what about the people that you care about, the people that you have, and the ear that basically they have upon you, the hold that they have on you. What you gonna do? How you gonna do when people you think that really got your ear really don't have good intentions for you, really don't even have good intentions for themselves? You know, what we are building out here, what we are trying to build, we might have to take a step back and ask ourselves, what do you really care about? What is your purpose? Because if you don't have a purpose in life, if you don't have a real strong purpose about yourself, whether you old or young, a lot of people want to look at because they young, because they older, that they could just go through life and be reckless, be reckless with their decisions, be reckless with their thoughts, be reckless with choices because they feel it's like they older, right? That's not right. That's not right. You will be accountable for your choices and your decisions. You will be accountable. So I say to you, just by watching this video, if we learned anything by watching this video, be real careful of the energy you deal with, the energy you let around you. Be real careful about that, because you might like it and it might be bad energy. You see what I'm saying? It might not be the right energy. You see what happened to that man. That man did all of that. And they had a smile on their face the whole time. You know. This is a cold, cold world in 2020. You better get your best winter jacket on, because it's a cold, cold world. Even in the summertime. Yeah, yes. Hey, I'm out of here, you guys. I surely thank you, okay, for letting me put my voice, put my thoughts, put my face out here. I really thank you guys. These is what I'm going to be doing. Reaction videos to a lot of stories. Today we saw guys. We're going to see girls and guys, and we're going to have these stories and try to make sense of people's choices, decisions, especially the older we get. Especially the older we get. Okay? All right. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still in here. I thank you guys, the ones that's in here with me. I appreciate that as well. I would like for y'all, though, to subscribe to this channel, though. For the not subscribe to this channel, please subscribe to the RC Community TV Show. Okay, here on YouTube. I am out of here. Where we at? We only did an hour and a half, so that's pretty good. Okay. Tomorrow is the day. My mother's favorite day, Sunday. This is her favorite day. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be back on tomorrow or not. I think I'm cool with this actually video that I did tonight. Last night I was trying to play my music. It's right. They wouldn't allow me to play it. Okay. So I will check y'all out though. Probably midweek, Wednesday. That's that midweek. I might come on back in there with another story. I might drop another story on Wednesday and commentate on that. I love watching these stories about life and coming back and talking it out with the people, you know, because you have to watch real information. You got to get the real news because you are living in real life. Okay. All that other stuff, that's fairy tale made up. Made up stuff. Nah. If that you into. Okay. So on that note, I'm out of here, you guys. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Till the next time I put my face on this place. Peace, love, joy. Yes. Yes. Joy. What joy is, you better go find it. Right? I want you to go find it. Joy within self, though. Joy within self. Okay. I'm out of here. Peace, love, joy, and definitely positivity. Peace, you guys. Thank y'all. Subscribe to this channel, okay, on YouTube. Thank y'all.